What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Imperfect Action Show. And as you already know, on this show, we take imperfect action in our businesses as it relates to marketing and also growing our business. On today's episode, I have an amazing guest. She's going to jump on. And today, we're going to actually be talking about client avatar. How do you zero in on the perfect client avatar that is for your business? Most of us will speak to a broad audience. We're going to speak to a broad audience because we feel like we don't want to leave no one out. We feel like everyone needs what we have because we're fearful that if we narrow it, no one's going to buy our stuff. But it actually works opposite. So you know what we do in this show. In the beginning, I like to reach out to the community. And I like to invite my community on. If you are interested in joining my community, 213-410-4920. That's 213-410-4920. I send a lot of updates and value to the community, and they hear a lot about what's going on first, Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Here's the link. Hold on to my morning show. I'm live right now. All right, boom. So we're going to send this out to a couple of people. If you're just tuning in, drop in the chat. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Let me see. I'm going to drop, links for some more people. Drop it to the community right now because they get all the drip first and they get the direct. So let me send that out. And the guest, she's going to pop on right when she is ready to. And we're going to go right there. Imperfect Action Show. Learn how to craft the perfect avatar for your business. All right. That's what we're doing today. That's the subject. That's what we're talking about. I'm gonna add in the guest because there she go.
Oh, putting on my lip gloss.
Lip gloss. Yo, hold on. Where's my? Oh, I don't got my lip gloss.
You need your lip gloss.
I was gonna add mine in.
Trying to get together. Good morning. Good morning.
What we doing? What we doing today? What we doing today?
We're being perfectly imperfect today.
Ooh, I see what you do there. You trying to encourage me to come out with the Imperfect Action merch or not? You know what I'm saying? Kenya, what's up? I see you in the chat. Good morning to everyone tuning in. Drop in the chat where you are tuning in from. That would be amazing for me to know where people are tuning in from. Currently, we are streaming on LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, and maybe I should go live on my phone.
How do I see the comments?
Top right, possibly.
Maybe because I'm on my iPad, I can't.
You're on the iPad.
Okay, so then I'll mute it and I'll put it on my computer so I can see, just in case anyone has questions.
Dallas, what's up, Mark?
What's up, Mark Anthony?
Yo, I actually was gonna hit you up. There was somebody who was gonna refer Cincy over the weekend, but I gotta think about it. But yeah, man, good to have you in. Today we are. Wait. You're in LA, bro. You better holler at your boy. Today we are talking about crafting the perfect client avatar for your business, whether you got a product-based business or a service-based business. This is a topic that Stacy specifically wanted to cover. So I think it would be good to talk about, what that journey was like for her. Like, who did she think her client avatar was in the beginning? And how was she able to kind of narrow it? So for the people that don't know who you are and what you do and where you're hailing from and all the amazing things about you, why don't you tell the people a little bit about you and then we can dig into the sauce.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone. I'm Stizzle Speaks. I'm originally from Boston. I reside now in California and right in LA, thanks to this amazing person, Brendan Boyd, on the live, who's been in my life for over 20 years. And so I decided to transition from my hometown, make a move, make a change to do something different. And so For the past, 16 or so odd years, I've been in a position of leadership, management, and wanted to continue that journey and start consulting, coaching on my own. So then moving to LA, I started doing that a bit and then dove a little bit deeper into women's empowerment and speaking and being a mentor for women. So really doing that a lot. And I also executive direct events for the outlet LA. So I wear multiple hats and I'm a president of an organization, which is a professional fundraising network organization for individuals who are really looking for growth in their personal life, in their business, and we support the youth entrepreneurs as well. So a lot of different things. And so to answer your question, initially thinking about a client avatar, who's my target audience, my target demographic, like all of those things kind of just were not at top of mind, right? It was like, okay, this is the business that I want to do. I know I want to be a leadership development coach. I know that I need to coach or I want to coach managers in a retail space because that was my, background and my history. But I didn't dive deep into what that person actually looked like and like developed a client avatar in the beginning. And so it posed the challenge because then I didn't really understand how I wanted to market the leadership coaching business. Like, if you don't understand your client avatar, you don't understand your target demographic, you can't really, market properly to the right person or the right people. And so fast forward, I started to develop the client avatar for the leadership business, the leadership coaching business, and then also for the women's empowerment coach, mentor and speaking, because it's two different things. So I have two different client avatars, essentially.
So I guess one of the first questions I have is, when did you realize you actually needed a client avatar, right? Because I feel like some people, they start their thing, product-based business, service-based business. I'm going to sell to everybody. I'm selling to everybody. No one's buying my thing. What's going on? So when did you realize that you actually needed a client avatar? Let's start there. And then I want to hit you with a couple more questions.
Sure. So I think the first point of realizing this was going through sort of the business model with you. And I mean, you're the marketing genius, you're the marketing expert. I am by no means, I'm here to, provide the audience with my personal story, my personal experience. But in terms of the details about marketing and how that affects your business, you were the first person to say, you have to figure out specifically who you're speaking to and who you want to target if you want your business to grow. And so I realized once I was like, all right, I'm speaking to everyone. So therefore, nothing is really happening. So in order to make it happen, I need to figure out exactly who I need to target and who I want to target, especially when it came to, the leadership development. What I realized in that process is I need to speak more to corporations, businesses, people who have teams already in place and speak to their leadership, because their leadership, that person is, who I want to grow and develop, not necessarily an individual. Let me peel back. I can develop an individual and create, a story map for them to develop their leadership skills. But my client avatar for leadership is a manager who is in their early 20s, probably, early to mid 20s, working in a retail environment, has a team of at least 2 people. So they're managing, they have direct reports. Getting very specific into that detail made me realize, like, I need to target this demographic. So now I need to focus on marketing the leadership business towards corporations that have that specific client. I see a little mute thing. I'm like, I hope that answers your question. I'd be like talking all
over. No, you're good. You're good. So I guess what I was going to ask is, so generally what I find, and you can let me know where you are in this process, right? Because you have a great understanding of who your client avatar is. But generally I find when you ask someone what they do or who they're selling for, who's their client, they be like, yeah, 25 to 45, they're at the crib and, they got a kid, they're empty nester and, they like sports, and, they're technologically savvy. they drink a lot of water. That's the person I want to go to. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like, bro, what is all of that? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That tells me absolutely nothing. And if you're in the marketplace, if you're having a conversation, like if I ask you that, if I'm your ideal client, that would really confuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would be confused. So when crafting the client avatar, right, there's a basic formula, which I'm pretty sure that you have this locked down as well. There's a basic formula that can simplify um, the person that you want to target, and it's literally a XYZ formula. So you help X, right? So you help this type of individual, right? Or it could be a couple of words that describe these type of individuals. You help them with Y, their problem or a problem that you identify in the marketplace that your product or solution, your product or service will solve, right? So you help them with Y, which is a problem that they're facing, so they can Z. What's the transformation? What's the solution? What's the hurdle? What's the pain point that you're helping them to escape from or solve or get away from? And that's simply that. Now once you understand that, you can then craft marketing messages around all of that because you
Mm-hmm.
100% understand what your client avatar is dealing with. And now through your content, your email marketing, your text message marketing, whatever traffic sources you want to be playing along with. And if you look at episode 6, we talked about traffic sources and lead generating.
Mm-hmm.
But once you on those different traffic sources, you can now communicate effectively whatever messaging you have to speak to that individual's pain point, and then have them go directly to where you want them to go. You direct them, or you start nurturing that relationship so they can then transaction, jump in the community, get in your funnel, jump on a lot, like whatever the call to action is.
Yeah. Which yes, and all of that is true. I think for me, the process that I went through in understanding, like, you should know your client avatar's demographic, like where do they live. You should know their psychographic, like what do they think about, like what's important to them. You should know, their day in the life, like what do they do, where do they work, what time do they come home, does she drink coffee, what color palettes does this person like. Yes, knowing all of those things are absolutely important because you have to be very specific and very detailed as to what this person looks like in order to really understand the next parts, which are, what's their unique problem that needs to be solved, and then how can you solve their problem and what makes you unique for that person. So it kind of goes hand in hand because, like, you have to be able to differentiate yourself. Like, we're two coaches, right? Both of us coach. We coach very different industries. Like, you coach on marketing, I coach on leadership, I coach on women's empowerment. But our, like, client, we would have to really specifically identify what are the things that this person likes to do, what do they look like, what's their age. Like you said, it's 25 to 45, which is very broad. That's very general. So that might be the target market, but it might not be the client avatar. So when you speak generally, like, okay, 25 to 45, they might like fitness, they might like, eating healthy foods, etc. That's very general. So that might be your target market. But your client avatar is so specific. Say, this person is 25 years old. She or he goes to the gym, and you would know which one, she or he, because it's specific, goes to the gym 4 days a week, works out for at least an hour, has a target to be very fit and not have any body fat, and loves eating papaya and avocado and whatever, which I'm making all this up because I know nothing about healthy foods. But, that's like really breaking down the difference between the client avatar being very specific versus your target demographic and your target market being very, very general. And then to your other point, knowing all of these things first will help you craft your marketing. And I think that's the part that people tend to miss. And I was one of those persons where in the beginning, I missed the point of, okay, I need the client avatar to understand how I need to market the business versus I need the client avatar because I need to just know what my customer needs to look like. It's so much bigger than that because the marketing is what's going to essentially get you the client. So if the marketing is going to get you the client, you have to be able to speak to the client that you want. And so, it's important to understand, like, not every person is your client. Like, you're a coach, you're a high level coach. And so even though your target audience, your general target audience could be, individuals 25 to 45, like, if you got really specific, the age and the income that this person makes and what they're willing to pay for the service, like, it's very detailed in that manner.
100%. I mean, a lot of us can literally look at us, look at yourself, look at some of the obstacles that you may be facing, and you may actually be your client avatar. So then just mirror yourself in terms of the information that's available.
Mm-hmm.
What are you facing? What are the challenges that are you seeing? What makes things easier for you? Where do you hang out? Where do you play? Maybe your client avatar is literally like you. I know mine is like me. My client avatar is someone who is not afraid to spend money on transformation.
Right.
My client avatar is someone that's going to make a quick decision about where they want to go, because they know that I don't need to be wasting time spewing back and forth on what I should do. I know what I need, right? Once I see that the solution is available and I feel comfortable with who I want to invest my money with, which was really an investment within myself, I'm going to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I help coaches who struggle with their marketing get more clients and sell more through content marketing, right? But it didn't always start off like that, right? 2 years ago when I started coaching, my client avatar was way different. I was like someone that has anxiety, someone that procrastinates, someone that is not really sure where they want to go. I had to figure it all out. And that's another thing that I would suggest you really just put the messaging out first. Imagine who this person may be. Don't worry about getting it perfect. Just put it out in the marketplace. See who you're attracting, see who you are repelling, and then continue to refine it at that point. Because you can't work on the perfect client avatar is not going to come off top. I mean, it could come, but the percentage of that is very, very small. On this show, we take imperfect action. So I want everyone to use that basic formula. And if anyone's in the chat right now, you have any questions, you're not really sure who your client avatar is, definitely leave a comment in the chat and we can help you live craft out a draft of what that may look like, right? So the formula is I help Y, which is basically the subject, who you're identifying. I help Y with X, which is the problem, the pain point, the obstacle. I help Y with X so they can Z, right? Z is the transformation, it's the solution, it's the celebration, you know what I'm saying? It's what's going to make things easier for that client to arrive where they want to go. So if you're struggling right now with that and you want some help with that right now, drop it in the chat and then we can help you with that. If not, if you're watching the playback, I will drop the formula below and then you can kind of fill in the blanks as they may work for you.
Yep. And Angela, hello, Angela, good morning, made a comment and said, I'm still working on mine, which is totally fine. And that's what Brendan was just mentioning. Like sometimes, and I'm just as guilty, and I'm super transparent and an honest and authentic person. And like everything is not completely figured out. Like if you go to my Instagram page right now, you would see that, okay, I see who she's speaking to, but the marketing isn't at 100%. Like my marketing could be so much better. You probably wouldn't even see much marketing in terms of my leadership coaching because I kind of put that down a little bit to pick up on the women's empowerment and doing events. But, I say all that to say you don't have to be perfect. And that's what I love about you doing this morning show is this imperfect action is just taking the step to identify what needs to get done and putting the action behind it. So if you're unsure who your client avatar is right now, and you're just taking notes and writing down the X, Y, and Z and identifying the holes that you have so that you can then go back and fill in those holes, like you're doing the right thing. You're taking action on it. But to Brendan's point, you may not know your exact client avatar right now. Like maybe you just started your product business or your service business, and you still need to do research. Like you still need to identify, what your target market looks like. You need to be on Facebook scrolling and seeing, okay, what is grabbing my attention? get on Instagram, figure that out. Like, you might still have to be in that research stage, and that's okay. It doesn't mean because you don't know your client avatar right now that you will not turn a sale. Like, you can absolutely turn a sale not knowing your client avatar, as long as you are putting the action behind speaking about your business consistently, talking about what you do, relating it back to a story. Like, oftentimes the things that we do, especially I feel like in a service business, most times when people in a service business, they're providing a service that they're 100% familiar with. So, marketing, coaching, leadership coaching, it's a service that we're familiar with. We've worked in the industry, so we understand what it means to be a great, exceptional leader. We understand what it means to be someone who's top notch with their marketing strategy. So, you just have to sell that point first, and then start to identify people on your social media who are leaving comments, who are engaging with you, who are interested. And then that will help you start building your client avatar, because you're like, okay, I find that for Brendan, for example, he has a lot of female clients, And, it could be a thing where women, we tend to take a risk more than men and spend money on ourselves. Who knows? But, you have a higher female client base. And so now that came from many months of research to say, okay, having the women really gravitate towards this coaching, that might start to develop who my client avatar is. So let your audience kind of lead you in a direction of understanding like where your target is.
100%. Until Stacey's point, like what I could do even this week, I can A/B test, right? So basically, right, my A/B test could be I help coaches who struggle with marketing, right, get more clients and sell more so they can have that transformation, right? Basically what I spoke to. But now I can be like, okay, let me A/B test. Let me say I help female coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I can say, hey, I help female coaches who struggle with marketing get more clients and sell more through content marketing. And the other one could be like, I help coaches who struggle with marketing sell more and get more clients through content marketing. Since I'm realizing that 60 to 70% of my clientele is actually female, I could craft some messaging that is directly geared towards them with my general messaging that's going to also be A/B testing at the same time. And I can see which one is really connecting with the marketplace. You cannot really develop a full understanding of who your client avatar is if you're not testing it in the market. Because even if you feel like this is who it is, I got it down, the market is going to dictate. The market's going to let you know, no, actually is this type of person in this type of category, because you're seeing who's actually spending coin with you, who's actually showing up, who you actually engage with these Zoom meetings with, who's actually doing the most transactions. And then you realize, oh wow, it's actually like, you know, older gentlemen or older females or younger gentlemen or younger females or college students or whatever case may be. The market is going to dictate. So it's extremely important to A/B test. We got a question at the bottom. Let me see. Angela says, someone like me, a go-getter who continues to get up regardless of how many times life has knocked them down, loves nice clothing because it makes them feel that they can take on the world. So, Stacey, you want to tackle this with the XYZ?
Okay, so someone like me, I'm reading from my computer, you guys, so don't mind me if I'm looking to the side. Someone like me, a go-getter who continues to get up regardless of how many times life has knocked them down, loves nice clothing because it makes them feel like they can take on the world. So my question first would be, is the product a clothing brand?
Yeah, it's a clothing brand.
It's a clothing brand. Okay. So if you want to get very specific, the holes I would say you need to figure out is you're helping people feel good in what they're wearing, is what I'm gathering from that, right? But what exactly does that look like? Like, is it fit? Is it quality and texture? Like, I'm a big texture person, and I literally just got a gym 2-piece from a friend of mine, and I gave him amazing feedback because it's the best gym outfit I've put on my entire life. And I mean that because I'm a texture person, and usually when I put on leggings, like, they feel cringy to me, right? So like, figuring out specifically what that looks like, and what is it about the clothing, like what's the challenge or the problem that the client is having that you're going to solve with the clothing. So again, if it's a fit thing, right? Because a challenge for me, if we're talking about fitness clothing, just to give an example, I have a challenge with sports bras because I'm very top heavy. And so when I work out, if I really want to get a great workout, jump the rope and all that stuff, I have to put on 2 sports bras just to feel comfortable. So if the challenge that you're solving is fit, you can go in that direction. So I think that's kind of like answering that question. Let me know if it's not, but I'm trying to gather it from the full paragraph.
So, so this is what I have. And Mo, you probably have to, again, you have to tighten this up as well, right? So what Stacy said was correct, right? What is the problem that they're actually facing? What is their pain point? What is their obstacle? So based off of what you shared with me, because I think another thing that you said was, your clothing's unisex. This is from a previous call that we had, right?
Okay.
So I put together this, and I'm gonna drop it in the chat. I help men, women, which we can get more defined in that, because even if it's unisex, we still need to get more specific. I help men, women with anxiety. Is that the pain point? I don't know. What are they facing? I help men, women with anxiety build self-confidence and show up as their authentic self by connecting them with their love of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's it. I don't know, right? Are they feeling anxiety? Are they feeling pressure? Do they have low self-esteem? What is that pain point that you feel like, based off of what you said at the bottom here, which was, they're go-getter. They continue to show up regardless how many times life has knocked them down. So life knocking them down, what does that feel like to them? Is that anxiety? Is that pressure? Is that low self-esteem, right? And then you have a clothing company. So you want them to experience that. You want to take them away from that pain. You want them to show up as what? Their authentic self, more confident. You want them to show up as, with a more vocal voice. Like, how do you want them to show up? What's the transformation, right? And then what are you going to do? Are you connecting them with their love of fashion? And now that love of fashion is your clothing, is your hoodie, your t-shirt, your hat, your apparel, right? Or is that transformation, that solution, something different? You're going to not connect them with their love of fashion, but introduce them to something through the clothing. Like, what is that? What does that look like? So this is a good starting point. I hope this helps you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to drop it in the chat right here. They love encouragement. So yeah, take this, play around with it. I think the men and women thing, that needs to be more specific, because even though you make something that's general, you don't want to say people, because that's too broad. Men and women is super broad. So are we talking about health conscious folks? Are we talking about travel entrepreneurs? Are we talking about healthy couples? Even that's healthy couples. That's kind of niche. Who are we talking about here? Are we talking about solo entrepreneurs? Like, who do you identify based off of all of the people that purchase your products thus far? What percentage of those people are this type of person? And maybe you can start from that type of person.
Right. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, but you're male, female, that is your target market. Like, that's your demographic. That's who you want to sell to. But when you get very specific to niching down in the client avatar, it's the health, the gym rat, or, the healthy couple, like you said. So getting more specific in that area so that the marketing then speaks to that specific avatar.
Yeah,
and
because
for her, she can test A and B too, which I think is a great idea. The way you put that, testing A and B to kind of see what works better.
Because this is the thing: women will wear men's clothing, no problem. They'll wear the hoodie, the t-shirts, the sweatpants, the hats, whatever. But men tend to not resonate with female marketing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it may be easier for you to say men or this type of person, and then narrow that avatar down. But then in your marketing messages and in your marketing content, you could show women wearing the clothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I found was interesting too, just because we're on the fitness kick, in marketing, like when I went on Amazon once to look at an exercise bike with Danielle, we were actually looking for an exercise bike for her. Every single ad in marketing had a guy on the exercise bike. There were no women riding the exercise bikes. And I was like, okay, so they are specifically targeting the client avatar that men work out on exercise bikes and that women don't. So it's like literally getting that specific with the marketing.
And honestly, what they may have been doing is they may have been trying to get more men's sales on exercise
Right.
bikes, because technically women buy more exercise bikes than men, especially we're talking about Soul Cycle and things like that. You see more women actually spinning. So
Right.
they
So
may
it's
be
the
like, you know
reverse
what?
psychology.
Exactly. So they could be like, you know what? We need to boost up the sales for men because the women, we're killing it. But how could we get a 5% more of the market share, 10% more of the market share? Okay, let's switch all the marketing to men, which is not going to affect female sales at all.
Right.
Because they identify with the spin anyway, but it may boost male purchases. So we are coming at the end, and I know it's like, damn, it's so fast, but that's how it is in the imperfect action. I want you guys to take this information. I hope Y so they can what I'm talking about. No, I help X. I help X with Y so they can Z. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I help X with Y so they can Z.
So Angela says, I'm going for the feeling when women go to a salon barbershop in their regular. And once they're done and look in the mirror, their new person, look, attitude, feel awesome. Show you guys. Yeah, so just play around with that. We gave you a little draft to mess around with. Use that as a as an outline for you to, craft a couple of them. Craft a couple of them. Poll your audience on Instagram. Take this action today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait for next week. This is what the show's about. And you can actually drop your results below in the chat because we check on those and stuff like that.
And take that information, Angela, and use that as the starting point. But in each of those points, like salon, barbershop, okay, now what's the specifics about salon, barbershop? Is it a multi unisex like salon, barbershop in one? Is it just the salon? Is it just a barbershop? So take each of those pieces and then like get very specific, because the whole point behind the client avatar is to be as specific as possible versus, again, your target market, your target audience can be general. That's okay. But your client avatar really, really specific. So then you can craft your marketing around your client avatar versus your target market or your target audience.
And that's when it really starts to get fun, y'all, for real, for real. Because once you know, like, oh, is this type of person they like this? Okay, cool. I'm gonna make the messaging say this. Let's see what actually happens.
Yeah.
So,
and the more specific you get, they'll find you. Like you
definitely
don't have to go look for them anymore. They're gonna find you, and that's the whole point behind the marketing. Is like,
and you're gonna exclude,
you're gonna
exclude the people that you don't need to be selling, don't need to be buying stuff, which is what you want to do.
Yes,
that's what you want to do. All right, guys, thanks for tapping into another episode of the Imperfect Action Show. This show streams live on YouTube, on Twitch, on LinkedIn. I appreciate everyone for tapping in. This is episode 7. Shout out to our guest, Stizzle Speaks. Drop down in the chat for you guys to follow her at Stizzle Speaks. So make sure that you do that and tap into everything that she has going on. I think she got a workbook, y'all, that you need to purchase. And I think she got a monthly subscription service that you need to purchase. So make sure you tap in, jump in the DM, ask for whatever question you need to ask. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow I got another guest. We're actually going to be doing sales role playing. So if you sell high ticket, or if you want to sell high ticket, or if you're thinking about high ticket, we're actually going to run through a sales role play, right? I don't know if I'm going to be selling or I'm going to be on the phone, but we're going to see what's going to happen. I got my guy Alex coming through, very, very good friend of mine, very, very acute, someone that's very, very intelligent, and we're going to actually do a whole role play and give you a chance to download that script for free, and you can implement that into your business right away because we're taking perfect action. All right?
Love that. Have a good day.